right. You can always tell when you're on your way.
Away you go, JD.
Robert, can you give us an update or prognosis on Liam Sutcliffe first of all, please?
Yeah, it's good news, if you can say that. Obviously, it's not great news. He came off. We thought he'd ripped it off the bone. His groin in extreme pain. He sort of went in a scissor position really, and both his knees on the slippery surface just seemed to get a bit like a chicken bone would really, where you sort of snap it. In extreme pain, bruising straight away all over him, but he's been to see the specialist, and the specialist is going to go for a scan. I think it's tomorrow or the day after, and they're going to decide if he might not need an operation. So the first thought was he's going to need an operation. He's going to be out for a very long time. And actually, the specialist looked at it and said, "Do you know what? This might be salvable without an operation." So he's going to get the scan results. I think it's today or tomorrow to determine that. So, not great news, obviously. I'm going to be missing somebody again for probably a minimum probably in 8 weeks. But it might not be as bad as first thought.
Just talk us through your returnees and whether you expected so many to come back at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit. We kind of knew they were going to be a little bit around this time and whole next week, and then obviously we've got a week off, so that Hull KR game after that's pretty much when the troops start arriving, and we knew that. Obviously, it is a bit of a case of a few in, a few out. Aidan McGowan's obviously out for a good 4 weeks as well. So we lost 2. But we've gained 4, so that's good news. I'd like to gain 4 and keep 2, and keep everyone fit. But Zach's made really good progress. Wolford, he's really diligent in everything he does. Zach, regarding his rugby and his rehab and everything else, and he's made really good progress. So he's earlier than expected. Matty English, we're probably around this time anyway. So that's good news for Matty. We've got to be a little bit careful with Matty. He's been injured since the beginning of pre-season, really. He's had something sort of wrong with him. He had that pubis for a long, long time, and it didn't really settle down. So, but we feel like he's a stage now where when he does come back, he should stay back. Kieran Rush is a big bonus for us. He's another one that's... He can play in multiple positions, and what's probably really good for me at the moment is he's a spine member, somebody who can play half or 9, which we've really struggled, in that department. Swifty looks good, so Swifty looks good. There were doubts about him at the beginning of the week, but looks good, and Leroy's another one that's next cleared up. So we've got some troops back on board. That doesn't automatically mean they're going to be. They're 100%. There's a fair few of them that have not played for a very long time, and there'll be a little bit of ring rust. But yeah, we've got a little bit of experience and some quality back in the side, which obviously helps.
Has it been a tough team to pick for you this week for the first time in a while?
A little bit. There's been 1 or 2 that have missed out, but it still don't feel like that. When you're leaving, probably 2 players out of your main squad, disregarding the reserve lads, not being disrespectful to the reserve and academy lads, but you're only sort of missing really 2. When you only have a conversation with 2 players that are not playing, generally it's 5, 6, 7, 8 players that you're having to choose from. So no, it still don't feel like it's that tough.
You mentioned about Kieran Rush coming back. It gives you the potential to play Rush and Flanagan in the halves, doesn't it? Is that something you'd be prepared to do despite their age, although both were a lot older than when you made your debut?
Yeah, look, it's Rushy. We've sort of been praying for him to come back really, because it gives us options, and probably shows where we're at really. He's only young in Super League games, but we've been praying, fingers crossed, for a long time. I think this. I said before the start of the year, I thought this was going to be sort of breakout season, really. I thought he's played games in the past, but I really feel like he's matured this this year, and he's at a pivotal place where I feel like he can really kick on and really establish himself as a genuine week-to-week Super League player, whether that's at 9 or half. You know, one of the good things about him is he can play both positions.
Just talk to us about the significance of this fixture and how big a game do you see it?
Yeah, look, it's a really big game. I've said before that every Super League game is a big game. We should view it in that light, but it makes it even more so. You know, obviously the trials and tribulations that we've had all year regarding getting a team out on the field and not picking up a victory, and then Cass only picking up only one victory against Salford, but they've been really astute in the signings they've made over the past few weeks. You know, I think there's been no secret that they said they've lacked middles, and they've brought in a fair few middles, Singleton and Desiree and Tom Amon and Hugo Savelio, but Tom Amon in particular. I thought Tom Amon's been one of the best, or was before he left to go to the NRL. Thought one of the best props. So you know they've really bolstered that side of the pack, but they've also I think they've got Innis Senior and other experienced players that are coming back this week. So it all bodes well for a really good game.
In terms of the style of the game, does it matter, or is it just about the W at this point?
No, it's about the W. Yeah, it's all changed. At the beginning of the year, we were putting in really good performances. We were winning pretty much nearly every game at half time and playing really well and just not winning. And it's just got to stage now where we need to jag a win by hook or by crook.
Just lastly for me, have you got a sense of what that would mean to the group at this stage? We're sort of almost a third of the way through, aren't we, the season? What would it mean to the group to get that vital victory at this point in time, do you think?
The group were really good. The group, they understand where the situation that we're being put under, and understand how difficult it's been from everyone's perspective. But they've been really good with each other within the club. The team spirit could have been at rock bottom, and it's not. They've stuck together. But yeah, getting that first win, that first 2 points on the board would obviously be brilliant for them, for the group, for the club as in general, for the fans. So yeah, look, it'd be immense to get the first 2 points on the board. But we understand it's still a very tough opposition that we're coming against. We've been playing pretty good. You know, the Wakefield game, Cass were probably the better side for the vast majority of that against a very good Wakefield team at Wakefield. So the no pushovers, and with the players they've got now, it should be a really good game.
Top man, thank you, mate. All the best for Saturday. I'll pass you over to the other guys.
Right, Luke, you okay?
Okay, mate, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, not too bad. You said you'd need the win by hook or by crook basically this week, understandably so. Can you sort of feel how, I guess, the longer a losing run goes on, the worse the sort of effects of it are on the group? Of
course, look, I've said before that they're really connected. They're a really good group of blokes, each to a man. They've got best intentions, and they are working extremely, extremely hard. And they understand that the stresses that have been placed upon us due to the injuries, but inevitably the longer it goes on, the worse it gets. And we want to try and put an end to it this weekend and get the first 2 points, get a little bit, keep, and then build a little bit of momentum and hopefully getting more wins on the back of that.
That's it. Everyone understands what you're going through, but for the players that have been out there and playing every week, regardless of all of that, losing every week is a damaging thing, I would think.
Yeah, look, I think everyone understands where we've been at from in the group, from outside the group. But yeah, when you're not picking up wins, it's still obviously not great, not demolished. That's why we're here. We're here to win rugby league games and win as many as we can. So that the quicker we can get the first 2 points on board, the better for everyone.
Has it been a difficult job keeping that belief in those players, or the players' belief, that is? Or has it been do you feel that they've not lost that at any point?
They've been really good. Obviously, it's my job to try and keep that belief, but it's also got to come from the playing group as well, the leadership group, the older lads. It's got to come from them, and I think they've been really, really good. They've been really good. The older heads we've got within the group have been really good with everybody else, good with each other. So it probably should have been more difficult than it is, but they have been exceptional at it, really. So we just got to continue that, and hopefully, get the 2 points this week.
Can I just ask what the issue was with Aidan McGowan, by the way?
His ankle, his foot. So he rolled his foot. I think he had one of the bones in his foot, so it looks like a 4-week. I did one of his ligaments in the foot. Sorry. Just one of those. Just got caught in a sort of uncomfortable position. Yeah, just one of those injuries that we seem to pick up.
You must know every injury to the human body by this point.
I do at the moment, yeah. There's been a few that I knew quite a lot, to be fair, going into this season, but yeah, there's been a few this year that I've not really heard of, but I know them now.
Yeah. And lastly, we're seeing a little bit more this week about Huddersfield's plans for the Lawn Hill facility. Can you just speak a little bit about the potential significance of that to yourself as a first team coach?
Oh, look, it'd be massive. We've said for a long time that, when I was at Wigan back in 2000, a long, long time ago, we used to travel between venues, and then all of a sudden they got under one place, and I personally saw the difference that it makes to the playing group, rather than having a split training session where you're travelling from one venue to another, and somebody might just pull up with a little bit sore or get an injury on the playing field, but you've got to get in your car and drive down somewhere else. The logistics of it all is going to make such a big difference to training, to the way we train, to the duration that we can train for, to the quality we train, and the facilities up there are amazing. And look, Ken Davies, well, what he's done for this club's unbelievable, and he's continuing to do that. With the plans to the share, the future plans to the stadium, and now the plans to put. To have a pretty much a giant centre of excellence all under one roof. I think it'll be not only great for the first team, but it'll be great for the women's team, the academy, the scholarship. I think everybody will see the fruits of it, and I think the players will become better players because of it.
You see a lot, I think, Huddersfield's place in Super League, or value to Super League gets questioned by some people. But I mean, if all these sorts of things come to fruition, then it's some clubs, some structure that you might have in place in the years to come.
Oh, look, yeah, definitely. The IMG points, surely it makes a big difference. But not only that, what it does for the local community, what it does for, like, say, the young lads that are coming through our ranks, the conveyor belt of producing players. We are a heartland club still. I just think it only bodes well for rugby league and the town that we have somebody like Ken Davey that's still involved and still building the club and actually making it a really, really good. I think the things off the field that he's doing, I think, will only bear fruits on the field in the coming years.
Cheers, mate. All the best tomorrow.
Thank you.